Hey everyone, I'm Melanie from Streamline Legal, where we help law firms get the most out of their practice management software. I'm very excited today to talk to you about time. Where does all the time go? So, at Streamline Legal, we talk about some best practices when it comes to time tracking. And one of the things that we tell firms that we work with is that we find it much easier to build the habit of time tracking if, in fact, we're tracking all of our time and not just the billable hours necessarily. And so we do encourage firms to do that. And one of the reasons is that, again, it's just much easier to build the habit. But the second is that it can give us some really great data about what we're doing all day. And that may be us ourselves or our team members. And so to be able to find out what things we might be able to outsource that maybe we're doing and we don't realize, that's really powerful information. And so we do encourage people to track their time, billable or non-billable. And so thankfully, Clio does have that feature that allows us to do that with inside of Clio. But then it comes down to how do we get the information out of Clio? And so that's what I want to talk about today. Let's head over to the screen and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. So when we look at our Clio screen here, it's very natural to think, well, if I need some information like that, maybe I'll just go to reports. And so when we click over here on reports, when I'm looking at the types of reports that Clio offers, this productivity one looks pretty good to me. If I look at the productivity reports that they're offering, I've got one that's by user, which seems like that would be really helpful because I want to see what my team members are doing all day, how much time they're spending. The other thing is I want to do it before I get to the end of a billing cycle, right? Because then it may be too late or it may be much more difficult to go back. But if I can be monitoring these things on a weekly basis or a regular basis, something less than my billing cycle, that's going to make things a lot easier if I do, in fact, find things that bring up a red flag for me. So I'm going to click on productivity by user. I'm going to go ahead and see my whole team, all my team members, all our practice areas. I'm just going to look at this month so that we can narrow that down a little bit. And I want to see the hours. I'm not as worried about the money right now. I'm really just worried about the hours and thinking about making sure they're using their time effectively. And so I'm going to go ahead and click on Generate Report. That'll just take a minute here. And then it's going to pop up on the screen with all of my people that I work with and all of my team members. Now, not all of our team members have build time this month, and that's okay. But I'm going to scroll down specifically down to my name, and you'll see that I have 5.83 hours of unbilled time, and then I've got $0 of billed time so far. Maybe I'm billing at the end of the month and we haven't quite gotten there yet. But you'll see again, my total is 5.83. Now, a nice way to be able to check that is if I come over here to my activities tab, right? And I go ahead and I can filter for the beginning of the month through today, just for me. And you'll see right here, it matches 5.83. We're in great shape. However, be very cautious of this because if I go ahead and look on my productivity report at my teammate Randa here, Randa's got 0.33 hours that have been billed. Okay, so her total is 0.33. But if I go over to her activities and we filter instead of for me, we're going to filter for Randa. And so we'll go here and find her name. And it's going to show us all of Randa's time since the first. You'll see that she had far more than 0.3 hours. She actually recorded 0.83 hours. And the reason that is because this productivity report is not showing me the non-billable time. It's only showing me either the billed or the billable time, right? So again, if we go back to that report, we can see the billed time and the unbilled time, but only the billable unbilled time, not the non-billable. So the trick is that when we use these Clio reports, we want to be very careful to make sure that we know what type of time it's tracking or what information it's giving us. And so in my case, if I want to know all the time that Randa has worked and all the time that she's recorded, whether it was billable or not, frankly, then this productivity report is not the best place for me to find that. Instead, I'd be much better off going over to the Activities tab, filtering it for the time that I want, and going ahead and filtering it for the person that I'm looking at. Or frankly, I can look at everybody's time and I can see that we have not only billed and unbilled time, but also non-billable. And again, that non-billable time can be really useful information for us to be able to see what was Randa doing in her non-billable time, and is this in fact things that we want her to be doing, or are these things that we can outsource, or how are we going to handle that non-billable time? This is an excellent way, I think, to get even more information than that productivity report is actually showing me. So I would encourage you, if you too are looking for this type of information, I would run this report weekly for each of my team members to see what they're spending their time on. Again, billed, unbilled, non-billable. I want to see it all so that I can see exactly what they're doing and how I can assist them in either making more progress, being more efficient, helping our clients more, whatever I can do to facilitate those things. That's the kind of information I'm looking for when I look at these time reports. So thanks for joining me today. I hope that's helped, and I hope that you're able to get the information that you need out of Clio as well. Until next time, I'll see you soon. Bye.